out our interview with Pacers All-Star forward Paul George.
You know, it's just great to be a part of something that you grew up playing.
Then we have some tips on getting your 2K Pro-Am team ready for Road to the Finals. And be sure to vote on your top 2K TV WoW Alley-Oop of the Week.
Tune in now.
Going down Vinny, drop 6, 4, 3, we're here switching. Red light stop, make it drop for the with it. Anything you hear that I said, I meant it. Kane got the crown, then spread out with it. Say you need I said I get it.
I'm big like Diddy, I'm with it. Cali, we did it, Biggie in my city. Please don't fit it, hit them too. The bread and get stupid, silly. Money that come, run it like water. Money so hot, Miami on fire, you better be. Might get on the porch of your fortress. Yeah, they see it, but no one reports it. I run this, Rick Ross,
Said we taking over. Said we taking over.
You can see me in that Boss GT, coming down Sunset, sitting on D, feeling like Pac, all eyes on me. Fresh bandana and I'm mad trees. Please, I spit every verse. Some say Cali, some say Khalid. 12 years down and I'm finally free.
We can supply you.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Starting at shooting guard, at the other guard position.
We're coming at you from the Palace of Auburn Hills in beautiful suburban Detroit as the Pistons prepare to take the floor. The New York Knicks come into this one after a win against the Indiana Pacers. Guys, kind of a battle there. They pulled out a 4-point win, though.
Yeah, more than anything else, I think three-point shooting was the key, the catalyst, if you will, in that game.
Yeah, it's really a nice weapon to have because it makes things easier for you in other parts of your offense when you can knock down the three.
And now the New York Knicks starters. Jennings out there with Gordon. Then it's Jordan. Then there's Nene. And it's George in at the three. And, here, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line.
And for Kyrie Irving, it had been a long time coming. Last season, he finally played in his first postseason with the Cavs. And up until the unfortunate injury, he certainly made the most of it.
Pistons on defense, coming off that loss against the Nets.
And they had to be sensational defensively on that night to compensate for the fact that they just couldn't find a rhythm offensively.
Well, I don't think they're really built to play those kind of grinded out, low-scoring games. It just doesn't seem to be in their DNA to me.
It's stolen by Green. Tie game in Detroit. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Detroit Pistons.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
You can tell the point of emphasis has been to get to the offensive glass.
Yep, and they've set the tone here early with the hustle they've come out with.
Now the Pistons with it. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Knicks team.
And they won the season series against this club last year, but, then again, so did a lot of other teams.
Hey, Greg, we got to be honest here, which is really the only way I roll. Neither of these teams are world beaters. But you've got to start somewhere. A win tonight would be a step in the right direction.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the floor for Detroit, they've got Winslow, Bryant is out there with Kyrie Irving. Then it's Joel Embiid, and it's Patterson in at the power forward position. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. There's 25 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here.
And offensively, they've been struggling. He just wants to get them back into a good flow and stop forcing shots.
Well, Greg, the misses started piling up. Things kind of snowballed on them in that regard. This is a good timeout to kind of calm his guys down and hit the reset button.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Scola comes in for Patrick Patterson. And Gordon Haywards is subbed in for Winslow. Bryant drives in. A shot by Hayward, wide open, and he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that is...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. It was a closely contested first quarter for Detroit. Nothing seemed to give way on either side of the scoring column as they wrapped up the period all knotted up. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
Well, you expect the home team to take care of business, and they have. They didn't play flawlessly.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We're going to sit right here and wait for the end of the game and talk at you again.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. On defense, New York. They trail by one. And on the floor for Derek Fisher as we get into the second half, we've got Jordan. Paul George is out there with Nene. Then there's Gordon. And it's Jennings in at the one spot. Now here's Green. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
There's Jennings with the three. The shot will not go. Great D that time from Green. Hayward outside. He dishes it to Green. Scola, a screen on Gordon. And Gordon over to help. Scola with a clean look. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
There's Jennings with the three, and he gets it to go. Jennings has got 5. 8 seconds left to play in the third. And a wide open look for Irving. Offline from the top of the key.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Detroit Pistons.
And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. Winslow is out there with Gorgie Dang. Then it's Shelvin Mack. Then there's Embiid. And it's Bryant in at the 2. That's the group for Detroit right now. Nails the tray!
Man, that is not an easy shot right there. I mean, he had to get it off over a much taller defender.
Yeah, he needed to add just a little more loft on that one because of the size mismatch, and he did it perfectly.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, over the break, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. Despite the deficit, he told his guys, I've got confidence in you. We've had our backs against the wall before. You know what we need to do. Kevin, can they retake the lead?
Here's Watson. they can more or less wrap it up right here.
This has to be a very smart possession.
Good.
Really just continuing to increase the lead. This one should be easy for the rest of the way.
Yeah, and you know, Greg, at this late stage, a lead like that, it has a team really feeling quite good about itself, and deservedly so.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. They trail by 7. 32 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, they got to get straight to the hoop, then a foul immediately.
Going to be hard, though, Greg. I mean, they don't have much time to work with here, but we've seen crazy stuff happen in this game.
Patterson, he's checked in for Detroit. Buries it. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
First free throw is good, and that increases their lead to 6. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. And here are the Pistons.
Well, it's urgent time right now. This is when they got to come up big.
Yeah, you got to get points here. I mean, there's no way you can get around it. You've got to be able to get baskets here in a short period of time.
And he commits the intentional foul.
Shooting for Detroit, C.J. Watson at the line for 2.
And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. They're down by 7. 17 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Winslow kicks to Kobe. Here's Mack. And not sure what he was thinking there. Here's Watson. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
Just look at how quickly the lead has grown here over the last few possessions.
Clear case here, partner, of saving their best for last. Quite a run.
And that's curtains for them. Some really good work at the charity stripe to close this one out.
So no problem for New York as they get the win. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And that'll do it, folks. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching. Now it's time to head back to the studio with Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Brandon Jennings. He's not always known to make the big headlines or get a lot of media attention, but he does make the big plays, and he made them throughout this one.
Well,
and that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.